Hi, today I am here to show you how to make dog treats at home naturally with only 2 ingredients. So today I'm going to be making the dog treats in this machine. This is the Nesco Snack Master Dehydrator and Jerky Maker. This machine, we got it at Bed Bath & Beyond. And you can dry fruit in it, you can dry meat in it. There's so many different things that you can do. I took out the box so that you can see what the box looks like in case you decide you want to pick it up. And this is what we use to make our dog treats for our dog. So what you're going to need is this machine. Now, if you don't have this or you don't want to spend money to buy this, you can also make the treats in your oven. Now, in your oven, it's going to take a little longer. It's a little more time consuming because you're going to have to keep going back every so often to check it and make sure when it's done. Since all ovens vary, there's not a specific time frame, but it will be at least in there for anywhere between 4 to about 6.5 hours. It takes just as long in this, if not even a little longer, but the good thing about this machine is that you put them in, and I'm going to show you how I do that. You plug it in, you set it, and you forget it. So you come back later on and you can check it. Normally, when we do about 4 trays, I want to say it takes us, 4 trays no, but possibly like 6 or 8 trays, we will leave it overnight. And we will leave it all the way on high. If you're going to do it at night, you want to leave it overnight, I would probably set it to like a lower temperature and probably maybe like 4 trays. 2 trays will take you somewhere about like maybe 4 to 6 hours on high. So, but again, it all depends on the thickness of the meat, how many trays you use, and how much meat you put on each tray. So I'll go over all of that with you when we start stacking the trays and we start loading them. But here's a picture of the machine, and we've showed you the box of the machine, so now that you know. And the instructions, if you want to make them in your oven, I will leave them below in the comment in the section, so you can get them there. So really quick, I told you it was 2 ingredients to make this quick and easy dog treats, and this is one of them. So you're going to need some kind of cooking spray. I have avocado and I have coconut in hand right now. Obviously, I'm not going to use the avocado oil because it's for dog treats. So I'm going to use the coconut oil. And this is basically so the treats don't stick to the inside of the trays. So that's why we're using this. And then you're going to need some food thongs. I have one here so that you can pick up the strips and put them in the trays if you don't want to use your hands, or some people can use a food graded glove and you can do it that way. Over here I have 1 pound of beef, and it's already been cut up sort of for fajitas. So this is what I like to use because it makes it really simple. You can also buy a big steak or a couple of steaks or whatever kind of beef you want, and then you can just use your kitchen scissors and you can strip them and cut them to small lengths or long lengths, whatever you would like. Now obviously the thinner they are, the quicker they cook. The thicker they are, the longer it takes to cook. So this is 1 pound, and I'm assuming that I'm probably gonna only get like maybe 2 trays or 2.5 trays out of this, but we'll see once we start. So this is what we have to work with. It's very simple. You have your nonstick spray, you have your beef strips, your dehydrator or your oven, and don't forget your food thongs or your food graded gloves. So in saying that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go wash my hands, open up the package, and then we can get started. So we'll be back in 1 sec. Welcome back. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started. The machine that I have comes with 4 trays. This is what they look like. Okay, and they stack one on top of each other. So the machine says, the instructions on the machine says, and we've been doing this for quite a few years now for our dog. When you line up the treats, you don't want the treats to hit each other. You don't want them to stick to each other. So you want to just keep a little tiny space in between the treats. The air kind of circulates and flows, and that's how it dries the meat. So I'm going to pick up my thong, and we're going to pick up the first slice of beef here. And I don't like to put it right against the wall of the machine, so then that way the air can flow behind it. So about there is good. And then we just keep putting them in a row like so. And that's how easy this is. This is why I like this machine, because I'm not a fan of doing it in the oven. You kind of got to be slave to it, because you really can't leave your house if you have stuff to do and leave your oven running, right? Like I don't know, I wouldn't. But this machine is sort of, I don't know, I think about it like as a slow cooker kind of thing. So you put the meat in and you just set it and you can just walk away. I mean, you do have to remember, it doesn't shut itself off, so you have to remember to come back at some point. But I find that this is the easiest way. The only problem that I find is that the trays are not that easy to wash, right? So that's where the cooking spray comes in. You don't want them to stick too much. They say that they are dishwasher safe, but I have found that this is like my third machine. So I find that when you wash them too much in the dishwasher, these little plastic pieces start to break off. So you got to be careful with that. I would probably put them on the top rack. If you can hand wash them, that would be better. Just a little tip. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to keep loading them in, but I'm going to leave a little space in between them. And these are fairly long. I got a little one here. Okay. And then we have a little room here, so I'll just put this one there. And we'll keep going until we fill that up. So now if you hear that whimpering in the back, that is our little baby. I think that he knows we're making him treats, and he's a little ahead of the game, already asking for some. So that's what you're hearing. Okay, so I might be able to get one more in here, like so. Okay, and I think I'm gonna leave it there. Okay, I don't want to pack it too much. I want them to cook quickly and thoroughly. So now I'm gonna stack another tray on top, right? And I'm gonna keep going, putting the strips just like we did on the first tray. And this piece is a little thick. And like I said, you can buy a steak and you can cut them yourself, or you can have your butcher do it for you, or you can just buy, like what I did, the fajitas. Now I noticed that depending on the market, sometimes when you go to buy fajitas, they can be very, very thin. I mean, like paper thin. And those really cook very quickly, and honestly, they're so thin. I don't know, I don't like them like that. I think these are better because when you see them, they're gonna shrink some, so they're not gonna stay this size. Okay, buddy, they're not done yet. Alright, we only have a little more to go. So we might actually end up utilizing 3 trays. I am seeing that I don't think that all of this is going to fit in this tray, and if I fill it up anymore, then the third tray is only going to have just quite a few pieces. So what I'm going to do is just I'm going to separate them a little more, make some room there. Okay, and then we're going to do our third tray, and we're going to finish laying the pieces on the tray. Oh boy. He really likes his treats. Okay. So we are just about done here. Got our last little piece here. So a pound, you know, in this size has filled up about 3 trays. And I'm just gonna pick some from the first tray, try and get them all spread out evenly. Okay, so we have 3 trays here. And now what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna get my spray and I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna spray them. Except my spray is not working. Here we go. So you wanna spray them. You wanna spray each tray. Okay, and that's it. And then now the next thing that we do is, I remove this. You take the top and we cover it. Obviously you plug it in. And then what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put it on high. Right there. Is that correct? Don't have my glasses on, but I think that's high. And then we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna plug this in. And we're gonna let this go. I'm probably gonna do it overnight because it's almost 8 o'clock at night tonight. So I'm gonna put it on high now, and then I might, right before I go to bed, I'm gonna probably lower it a little bit and put it on medium, and then I'll come back in the morning when I wake up, and I will show you what it looks like. Okay, so stick around, and you can see the finished product soon. Good morning, everybody. We're back. I had the treats overnight in the machine, dehydrating. So last night before I went to bed, I lowered it all the way down to low. So it's early this morning, so they've been dehydrating for about 8 hours. So I'm gonna unplug it and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna check it. Okay, so this is what they look like once they're dehydrated. It looks like they're done. So what I'm going to do is pick one up and they snap. So that is done. They're nice and crunchy. And what I do, our dog is small. He's only 10 pounds. So what I do is that I break them in half so they're not too big for him. And then I leave them on the rack here for them to cool off. I break them all like this. Now if your dog is bigger, you know, you might want to keep them this size. And then what I do is once they're cooled off, I just get a Ziploc and I put the treats in a Ziploc bag. I put the Ziploc bag in the refrigerator and they'll last about 2 weeks. And that's it. It's very simple. If you have any questions, please put them on the bottom and I will try to answer all your questions. But it's pretty simple and easy, and the machine does that for you. So I definitely recommend the machine. We've had 3 of them, so you know they don't last like 8 years or anything. They last about, probably I'm gonna say about maybe 4 years for an average. But we use them all the time. So they get a lot of use. So anyway, thanks for watching and we'll see you in the next one.